I'm 55 and I'm just waiting around to die. That is exactly what my father told me several decades ago when I asked him, Dad, now that your children are adults and they're grown, what do you want to do with your life? What are your dreams and your goals? What are some things you haven't done yet? And his response was that I'm 55 and I'm waiting to die. And this last weekend, I went to see him. I got to see firsthand what 55 and waiting to die looks like several decades later. He's now in his late 70s and I love him. So I don't mean disrespect by this, but I'm speaking honestly as I'm processing it. He can barely get out of chairs. He can barely walk. He's pale. He looks like he's like on the edge of death, but just waiting for it. And it's truly heartbreaking to see, and then also scary, right? Because as their child, you're thinking, is that what I have to look forward to? So there were some things that I wanted to say to him, but I didn't because I don't like to give unsolicited advice. Although maybe that's what I'm doing here. I don't know. But there were just things I wanted to say to him and things I've been thinking about and maybe things I want to say to myself. Maybe that's what this is me sharing things with myself. So I'm going to share them here because I need to hear them and maybe you do too. Before I share the 3 things that I wanted to share with him, one thing I realized is that I think for my whole life, I didn't fully live. I mean, if you look at my life on the surface, it looks like I've really been living and I have had amazing experiences, but a part of me is held back. And I think it's because I felt afraid that I might be rejected by my family of origin if I actually lived, because the story of my family's life is like, don't live, hold back, be afraid, limiting beliefs, fear. And so I think a part of me, if you know internal family systems or parts work, there's a part of me who believed that if I go out and fully live and be myself and live my life, that I might be rejected by my family. So these are the 3 things that I wished that I would have shared with him and that I want to share with myself right now. And I actually just thought of a 4th one. I'm going to write it down so I don't forget to tell you. This is like the most raw, unscripted thing ever, other than some notes, but it's coming through, so I need to share it. The first thing is choose your hard. Everything's hard in life. Choose your hard. He told me the other night that he went for a walk after dinner, which is amazing. He went for a 20-minute walk. Incredible. So excited about that he did that. Or maybe it was after breakfast. But he said, then the next day my abs hurt. So, there's that. So now I don't want to do it anymore because it's pain. And I'm thinking, well, choose your hard because right now your life doesn't look so easy either. Your life looks really hard. You can barely get out of a chair. You're not comfortable. You're suffering. So choose your hard. Like, I would rather feel the pain of my abs hurting after a run or a walk, which like my energy right now is really inspired because I chose my hard this morning. I woke up feeling low about this weekend seeing my family and I started scrolling my phone for like an hour. And then I was like, Vida, get up, choose your hard. And I went for the first run I've gone in like forever. And I feel amazing. And it was hard. I went up a hill, stopped halfway. It was hard, but you know what would be harder? Is doing nothing and waiting around to die. And I'm 55 now. So seeing what my life might look like 10 years from now if I decide to just wait around to die. So choose your hard. The second thing is live an inspiring life. Something he was talking to me about is he felt frustrated that like one of my children wasn't taking some advice from him. And he was saying that I should give my child this advice. And I said, the way I like to think of it is I don't give unsolicited advice to my children. I have, of course, at times in the past, but my intention is to not give my children unsolicited advice. I would rather live an inspiring life. I would rather be a person who is inspiring, who loves being alive, who is out doing amazing things in the world, who's thriving, who's successful, who has a beautiful community of friends. I'd rather have an inspiring life. And then my children might, or someone might come to me and say, hey, I'm really inspired by your life. How did you learn how to do X? And then I'm happy to share. But no one really wants unsolicited advice. The unsolicited advice that my father has given me throughout my life, I've never taken and I've rejected it, honestly. I mean, it's just human nature. I'm just being honest. And he doesn't live an inspiring life, so I wouldn't want to take advice from him. And then if you want to feel inspired, be the source of inspiration for your life. Like, be someone who's inspiring. Be your own inspiration. This morning, me getting up and going for that run, 10 minutes, it felt hard, but now I'm really inspired by myself. I felt inspired to make a video. And I'm inspired to go for a run tomorrow. And the run inspired me to do my physical therapy exercises that I need to do to strengthen my hips. So it leads to one thing after another. So live an inspiring life. The next thing I wrote down I wanted to share is monitor your thoughts closely. Or I'm sharing this with myself. Monitor your thoughts closely, Vida. Watch the way you're thinking. Watch the thoughts that come through. And this is something I wanted to share with my dad because I heard him saying things like, well, when you get to my age, gravity just is against you. And when you get to my age, it's it's just, things are different, you know, because he was saying he really wants to see Washington, D.C. And I was like, you could go. It doesn't even take much physical exercise. Like, you could drive your car there, or you could get in a plane and you could go. And he really wants to see the Veterans Memorial. And I was like, go do it. He's like, well, you get to my age, things are hard. I wanted to say, monitor your thoughts. And beyond that, who would you be without that belief? If you didn't believe that when you get to a certain age, whether it's 55 or 75 or 80, this is just the way things are. If you didn't believe that that's just how it is now, who would you be without that belief? How would you live your life? What would you do with your life? I mean, in my own life, I have countless examples of that I could share, where I can get going down a thought spiral, think, oh, what's the point of getting up this morning? Does anyone even care? I mean, there's so many examples, but who would I be without that belief? I would get up. I would go for a sunrise walk or a run. I would make something beautiful to drink on my tailgate. I would call a friend to meet up. You know, who would you be without that belief? So monitor your thoughts closely. Watch what thoughts you're having, and then ask yourself, who would you be without that belief? I can't even imagine who my dad would be without the belief of I'm 55 and I'm waiting to die, because at that time I did get him to tell me the things he wanted, and it was he wanted to drive a Porsche and he wanted to ski at Vail. And I was thinking, you could do both of those things. Like, you could get a half-day lift ticket at Vail and ski the bunny hill, and you could rent a Porsche or go test drive a Porsche. Like, these are things you can do. So who would you be without the limiting belief that you have? And an important piece of that is always to acknowledge that a part of you thinks that that limiting belief is keeping you safe. So sometimes to release that belief, you get to first give love to the part of you who is afraid to let go of that belief. Like my story that I shared earlier about being afraid of being rejected by my family. If I actually go out and live my life, a part of me thinks I feel I'm safer if I limit myself. So I get to give that part love first before I try to break through the limiting belief or release or clear the limiting belief. Then that fourth thing that I wrote down extra at the beginning that I've heard so many times before, this is such good advice or guidance. Here I am giving advice, but it's for myself because I've heard this so many times. And that is, don't tell anyone your goals and dreams. Don't tell anyone what you want to do. Just go do it. And this one isn't necessarily related to him telling me his dreams as much as I have a goal later this year that I'm not going to tell you. But it's a big goal, but it's a goal I've had for like 20 years, and I'm making it happen this summer. And I've told 2 people in the last 4 months about it. And one of them said to me, well, let's see if you actually do it. And then the other one said to me, well, have you ever done even this much of that goal? So like they were questioning, like, have you ever even gone halfway to that goal kind of thing. But the bottom line is these people who love me very much and they were maybe well-meaning put a lot of doubt in me. And I already have doubt. Like, we all already have our own doubt, whether it's starting a new business or taking a big adventure or traveling to another country, or I don't know, adding a room on your house, drawing a new picture in your sketchbook, whatever the goal is. We all have our own fears and doubts. We don't need someone to add to them. So when we share with someone our goals and dreams, sometimes, well-meaning or not, they're not going to say the thing you want them to tell you. And they're maybe just going to add to your own fear. So just keep it a secret, like plant it like a little seed in the ground and put a little soil over it. Add water to it every day by taking steps towards it. Let it get a little sunlight. Just keep nurturing that seed, but keep it for yourself. Keep it close to your heart. And then tell people, maybe if you want, after you did it, or don't tell anybody. But after you do it, it won't matter if someone else necessarily celebrates you or not, because you're already proud of yourself. You're already excited that you did it. All right, I hope something was in there that was helpful to you. I know I needed that little chat this morning, that little reframe around some things I've been processing and sort of an unpacking of the trip that I just came through, like an integration. And no waiting to die. We are all going to get out there and we are going to live today. So when you wrap up watching this, what is one thing you can do that is you going out and living today? One small, tiny step or one giant step towards living today. If you want a little more support breaking through some of your own limiting beliefs and clearing some of those subconscious blocks, I did recently put together an emotional freedom roadmap. So I will link that in the video description. You can go there and you can grab that, and it will help take you through some of the processes that I was sharing in this video and help you break through some limiting beliefs and blocks that you might have, clear them so that you can actually get out there and get to living. All right, I'm sending you so much love today.
Don't give up, just hold on tight, it'll be alright.